Games Workshop CFO Rachel Tung has reportedly sold 2/3 of her shares of the company after a boycott has been announced. Multiple hobbyists and enthusiasts have canceled their Warhammer Plus subscriptions and announced that they will be boycotting the company over the retcon of the Adeptus Custodes and the subsequent gaslighting by Games Workshop on social media. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. I wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And Rachel Tung, the outgoing chief financial officer of Games Workshop, sold 2/3 of her stake in the company worth approximately $865,000 as hobbyists have begun canceling their Warhammer Plus subscriptions and have indicated they will boycott the company. If you're wondering what's happening, the Games Workshop announced that there will be female Adeptus Custodes in its upcoming Codex Adeptus Custodes. It's a rule book in an excerpt that has surfaced, given the fact that the book is not available to purchase until April 27th. It reveals that there is a female custodian. Her name is Kaladice Tarvalia Kesh, and an excerpt from the upcoming book says Kesh stood upon the bridge of a Cobra-class destroyer named Vigilant Flame. The warship belonged to the mighty Battlefleet Solar. She lingered in the shadows at the back of the bridge. So very clear that this is now a female custodian, female member of the Adeptus Custodes. And then Games Workshop and Warhammer confirmed it on social media, saying since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians. So not only did they confirm the retcon, confirm the excerpt, but then they gaslit fans saying that there have always been female custodians, which just simply isn't true. Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern shared rules from Rogue Trader from back in 1987 that makes it clear that the Adeptus Custodes were always men. And it says here these men never leave Earth and only rarely leave the Imperial Palace. If you go back to 2017 and 2018, the Adeptus Custodes codexes that were published in those years, it also made it very clear that they were an all-male organization, referred to them as the Brotherhood of Demigods, and says that they were recruited from the sons of nobles. Specifically, one excerpt from one of those codexes says it is known that all custodians begin their lives as the infant sons of the noble houses of Terra. So very clear that there were not always females in the Adeptus Custodes. Clear retcon, clear gaslighting by Games Workshop and Warhammer. And as I noted, because of this retcon and gaslighting, people are canceling their Warhammer Plus subscriptions and they are boycotting Games Workshop. And so amid this controversy and boycott, the business desk reports that Tung, quote, reduced her stake in the Nottingham-based company by 2/3 after the share sale at an average price of £94.893 per share. So she's getting out while the getting's good, right? What is interesting, though, is that Tung had announced her resignation, or her resignation was announced in January by CEO Kevin Roundtree in the company's 2023-24 half-yearly report in January. He said this: also, after 27 years with the group and 9 years on the board, Rachel Tung has informed the board that she does not propose to offer herself for re-election as chief financial officer at the next AGM in September 2024. Rachel will continue in her role, working as an integral part of my team to ensure a smooth transfer of responsibilities to her successor. Rachel is amazing and she will be missed enormously. Rachel will step down from the board at the 2024 AGM and will leave the group in January 2025. We will be commencing a search for her successor immediately, Roundtree added. So she's been with this company for 27 years, worked her way through the ladder. Obviously is no longer going to be part of it after 2025, where she will be leaving Games Workshop. But it is an interesting coincidence, or interesting timing, that she's selling 2/3 of her shares as this controversy and boycott is commencing and ongoing. If we look at the share price here, you can see it has increased by almost 3,000% since November 2008, $3.60, and then $121.10 in US dollars. If we look at the 5-year, it's increased 121% over the past 5 years, from $54.73 to $121. Again, this is from April 16, that number though. And then obviously you look at the year to date though, it has declined around 5%. from $126.75 to that $121.10 mark. So obviously, if we go back to kind of the max here, you can see around 2021, June 2021, July 2021 is where it was like around its peak. I think it's close to like $171.90 there in June 2021, the height of COVID, when you saw tons of collectibles just going crazy. Sales doing really well for those collectibles. I remember there were like runs on trading cards, like Pokemon trading cards, baseball trading cards, all kinds of trading cards. People were really getting into collecting during the COVID time when they were locking themselves in their homes, although they were going and getting trading cards and things from the stores. But people were mainly staying inside. They weren't going outside doing other things, going to sporting events, going to concerts, etc. They were spending their time and energy on a lot of these collectibles. So obviously, it's still declined since then, from that $171 mark to now what we're looking at, $119. I guess it just updated April 23rd. So the decline for the year to date is probably even higher, because we're looking at $119.50 now, is what it's at today at 11:09 a.m. So I don't want to say that she's sold because of the boycott and thinking that the price is going to like drastically decline moving forward. They do still have an Amazon, so they do still have an Amazon production in the works, which could potentially boost their sales of their miniatures and their novels and everything else further. And you would think that might potentially increase their stock price as well. We've seen how that can really bring windfalls to companies if they create a really good product. We saw that with Hasbro and their Transformers movies back in the early 2000s. Huge revenue boost for Transformers. Sold tons of toys with the success of the original Michael Bay, or the, I guess, live action Michael Bay films. So it's possible that it could go even higher, but it is interesting that she's selling right amid the boycott here and all of this controversy. But let me know what you guys make of her selling 2/3 of her shares for around $865,000. Let me know what you make of this. Do you think it is connected to the boycott? Do you think she's moving on from Games Workshop? The market is high and she wants to eat while the eating is good. Obviously, she's been with the company for a number of years, so maybe it's time for her to not only she's not only resigning, but maybe she will be retiring fully, and she wants to kind of live off of that stock sale in retirement. Let me know what you guys make in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.